Today I found out that Bill Maher, well known for his work on TV in America, known as a social commentator, came out and wrote a blog about Stan Lee and why he has a problem with the people who are mourning Stan Lee. And I'd like to first of all say to people that he wasn't actually having a go at Stan Lee or the memory of Stan Lee. There's been a few people who've come out and said, oh, Bill Maher, disrespecting the dead. He did not disrespect Stan Lee at all. He was having a go at the fans of Stan Lee who got really upset and felt really, in a very powerful, visceral way, the loss of Stan Lee. And he was talking about the fact that people get so caught up in the idea of the comics and the movies that have come from the Marvel universe, when perhaps they should be reading a proper book. Kids read books. Kids read comics and live in a fantasy world of the superhero, and adults put those things aside to read, literature and learn great things, read great books, etc., etc. There's been a lot of comeback on Maher, and a lot of it is, well, how dare you say these things, sir? We're allowed to enjoy what we enjoy, and how dare you say we're immature? I'm going to take a slightly different tack on all of this, though. You see, there's a lot of people today who don't have heroes in the traditional sense of heroes, or gods in the traditional sense of gods, right? What Stan Lee and people like George Lucas and people like Gene Roddenberry and, of course, Tolkien did is create modern mythology, modern heroes, modern figures of worship, if you like. And so when people, for example, whether it be Bill Maher or what Kathleen Kennedy has done with the new Star Wars movies, deviate from the mythology or say that the mythology as stands, canon if you like, is for children and you can mess with it, you can do whatever you like with it, and then people have a reaction that is almost, well, it's a religious reaction. It's like when you say to a Christian person or a Muslim person that Jesus Christ or Muhammad didn't exist and their gods are a load of crap, and you get that negative feedback response. Well, it's the same thing that we're getting now, because most modern people who aren't worshipping the ancient gods are finding new gods to worship, whether that be in the Marvel universe, whether that be Star Wars, whether that be in the Star Trek universe. The mythologies are now taking on an almost religious sense. And so you're finding that why people are saying, well, how dare you call me a child? Just because I like this universe that was created. I like Spider-Man. Spider-Man is a good character, good young man, wholesome young man, tries to save the world. He has his problems just like everybody else, but he does his best every day, and that's sort of what I look up to in life. Well, that's the same sort of idea as, say, a Jesus Christ, in a sense. Okay, I obviously don't want to equate Jesus Christ to Spider-Man, but there's a lot to be said for the old meme of, you worship the Bible, I worship the Spider-Man comic book that was around a few years ago. That wasn't a meme in the sense of people thought it was funny. I looked at it and went, that's exactly right. That's true. That's actually very true. So Bill Maher, it's not that, it's for people, it's not about Bill Maher offending, talking about you being a child. That's the problem. It's the fact that, you look at these comics as ancient mythology, as a meta-narrative, if you will. And Bill Maher, for you, mate, that's the problem. These people needed a meta-narrative. They were atheist or they were agnostic. They couldn't find it in the Bible anymore or in any of the old religious texts. And guess what? They've created a new version of it through modern mythology told by people like Stan Lee, George Lucas, Gene Roddenberry, and J.R. Tolkien. Okay, so once again, for all the people that think he was dissing Stan Lee, he wasn't. He was having a go at the fans, and I think that it's mainly because he doesn't understand that the new meta-narratives are from people like Stan Lee. Anyway, guys, without going too much further into it and getting really meta on you, that's all for me today. Have a great day, and I'll catch you a bit later on. I'm Nathan Fletcher, the Drunk Philosopher, and I'll catch you later on. Uru.